Welcome to your daily oracle message. My name is Yaila, joining you in my room and messy hair. My coffee is over there on the side somewhere. But today's daily oracle message actually brings me chills when I read the oracle book. So this one is Homeland, number 44. And you can tell it's a mermaid because it's coming from Oracle of the Mermaid. And that's from Lucy Cavendish is this oracle deck. Of course, all information about the oracle deck is down in the description. But let's talk about the card first intuitively, and then I'll share with you just some messages that stood out for me. So at the bottom of the card, it says arrival, a journey ends, establishment, building, and settled. So when I'm looking at this card, there is like a powerful flow to it, is the best way I can describe it. The mermaid in the picture is gold. To me, gold is really high vibration, neutral energy. It's a beautiful color to work with. Pretty much when in doubt, not sure what color to use to help you on whatever you are working on energetically, gold is a great default. So we have a mermaid in gold. She is alongside a huge turtle tortoise, and it looks like they are flowing through the ocean. There are some other mermaids in the background. But with this mermaid, it looks like she is following her senses, her intuitive wisdom, her divine download. And I actually see a lot of purple around her as well. To me, purple is always divine messages, divine download. I shouldn't say always, but many times. But it looks like in this card, she is following her intuition. She's following her heart. It's almost like her heart is leading the way, and her mind is just kind of there watching, making sure she's safe, kind of keeping track of the journey along the way. And when you look at this card, like, why is she with a huge turtle? Well, let's talk about it. In the guidebook, it talks about there is a time to journey and explore, and there's a time for adventure and uncertainty. There's a time to be a stranger, the foreigner, the one who does not come from that place. And then there's a time to go home. And it says, the turtles know their home, that place where they were born. And you humans have several homes. Your first home is the place where your ancestors come from, your blood, where your blood comes from. And we ask you now, where is that home? Do you know where it is? Because if you do not know, it's time to discover this. So I'm going to pause there because many of us, when we think of homeland, our backgrounds come from several cultures, many cultures. I know mine certainly does. One of the prominent cultures in my background, Scandinavian, can you tell? But rediscovering the roots of your ancestral line. Where does your body's blood come from? So you can grow up in many different cultures, but what is that homeland of your ancestors? And I think it's important, especially right now, to connect with that. And it's so funny because speaking of this, I just started studying runes. The rune I pulled today was this one. This one's Isa, is how you would pronounce that. It looks like just an I. It's like Isa. And Isa is basically the empowered individual, or individuality. So it's basically knowing who you are and staying strong in that state of who you are, your knowingness. And that is where you manifest. When you know who you are, you have all of the power to fully express yourself. So I thought it was funny as I'm studying runes, that rune popped up and Homeland also popped up. So I'm sharing that with you. If you're inspired to reconnect with your ancestral roots, all those things, rituals, wisdom, insights, lessons along your ancestral line that gives you strength, that also shapes who you are in some way, shape, or form. If you're encouraged to kind of reconnect those roots, this is a card to give you that little wink from the universe that it is time. Another birthplace is the place where you were born. So, and it's also where you grew up. So those people, places, situations that helped shape who you are, they say your first 7 years are the most impactful of who you are as an individual. Of course, my personal belief is you can always evolve, you can always grow and change, and you can also work on your um, your subconscious and your inner child, and you can also reshape your past as well as your future. So nothing is ever set in stone, but there's information and wisdom that we can glean from where we grew up, how we grew up. So, what are those homes that you grew up in? And then the third kind of general homeland for people is where you were reborn. And I feel like that's a continual evolutionary process. Hopefully, you're continuing to evolve and be reborn to more and more of yourself, who you are. And let's see. The third place is a place where you were reborn and will be reborn again and again in this lifetime. That place where you can come home to your true self, where you notice that you felt comfort and happiness. It might be a moment, something that seems so very small, but we all have them, these homelands within. These are my last two favorite sentences. And now is the time for a homecoming for you, to know the places, people, thoughts, and stories that have shaped your soul. Know them, come home, visit a while, and know who you are again before your next wander voyage begins. So, what's really cool about this card, and I think why it gave me such chills, especially when I pulled the Issa rune as well. Um, there's something about really reconnecting to ourself, to our soul first, all the aspects, all the pieces from our ancestral, our childhood, who we're stepping into now, and really getting a sense of ourselves as an individual in this time, space, dimension, reality. Who are we before we step into the next adventure? Because yes, it's good to have fun. Yesterday we talked about bringing more joy into your life, but there's also a sacredness of owning all the pieces of who you are, where you've come from, and those wisdoms and what's the word I'm trying to say? Like those rituals and those things passed along to you are not for naught. Right. And yes, we have highs and lows in how we all grew up. Nobody's home life was perfect by any means. Some people had more extremes than others, but there are certain things that either you created as your own ritual for yourself, as self care, or there's those things that were passed down through families that you still want to keep with you. You still want to bring with you to your next level. So, reconnecting back to your homelands, all those different pieces of you, your soul, your character, as you're stepping into your new journey. Because number 44, obviously 4 plus 4 is 8. 8, we've had a lot of 8 energy around us lately. It is abundance, it's manifestation, it's our infinite intelligence, right? So we are stepping into this new version of ourselves. So have a wonderful rest of your day. Follow those intuitive senses on where you're being called to explore more within yourself, who you are as a soul. Just some light thoughts like that. And I'll see you tomorrow for the next daily oracle reading. Bye.